Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Sports Betting by Dummies. I am your host, Patty Parlays, and joining me, the very thirsty man, the man who's never lost, Tyler. Tyler, welcome in. I'm sorry you did not have a chance to get a beverage.
It's okay. I promise I won't die of thirst on pod. So
It,
Was that on the intro?
it might be. It very well could be on the intro. Yeah.
apologies.
I left my beverage.
Hey, we're starting off with a bang. We're off and we're running. But Tyler, if you'd like to go get a beverage, me and Dizz can just bullshit for like 2 minutes if you want to go get a drink.
Yeah, let me just back on out here, YouTube visitors. Enjoy the view.
And joining me as always, the voice of God, the Green Goblin himself, Dizz. Dizz, welcome in, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Patty. I really don't know how to feel right now. I don't know what to bet on. I'm not good at betting right now. Granted, I'm never good at betting, so maybe I don't feel that off. But it seems like every day in the office, I gotta dig a little deep at 4:30 to find some bets. So you guys are gonna see that come out to play here in this podcast. So I'm feeling all right. How are you feeling, Patty?
You know, I'm great. You know, got off work a little bit early today. Some expected inclement weather. Friday's right around the corner. We're finally settling down from year end. You know, things are looking up for Patty Parlays over here.
What does the inclement weather have to do with you getting off work early? Just curious.
It's a flood warning.
Like the flooding, and then it's supposed to get down to like below like to 16 degrees tonight, and some of that water might turn to some ice and stuff, and so you know we just
So sick. So I'm gonna get caught in traffic. That's dope.
possibly, yeah. But that just means
I
you get to
should've
stay
left
on the
early.
pod. That just means you get to stay on the podcast a little bit longer.
Good point. It's a good point.
I'm a glass
Hey,
half
for
full
the
kind of
record-
guy.
For the record, I stay on the pod even if I get home sometimes. The hard 6 outs are when I got shit to do.
And that's been like the past 2 weeks.
I mean, you hit
Dude,
Valentine's Day, man.
Valentine's Day,
Well,
I
yeah, it was
understand.
Valentine's
Day,
What are we
I
doing?
understand. But I feel like the 3 or 4 episodes before that, you were like, all right, 5:30 is fine, but we got a hard 6 cutoff.
I had shit going on, dude.
You got to stop scheduling shit on podcast day. That's all I'm saying.
This is
All I'm
great
saying
podcast.
is we switched this start to 5:30 because of you. So yeah, if we gotta adjust because of you, I gotta adapt. I'm not there yet.
Fair point. Fair point. But yeah, Diz, you make a very good point. We are in a tough sledding, tough situation as far as sports betting goes. Football's over. Tonight's the last night for basketball for a week because then the NBA is going to the All-Star break. The NHL is going, but it's still hard to bet on the NHL. And then all we pretty much have left is college basketball. So a little bit of a tease for tomorrow's episode. We are going to hit college basketball hard. I'm not exactly sure what we are going to do yet, whether it's just looking at the college basketball slate for the whole weekend. Maybe we give a little power rankings, you know, maybe who we predict to make the Final Four. We'll make tomorrow's episode pretty much basically all about college basketball.
Or like a YouTube video I can watch. You know, like when you watch a show for the first time in like a year, and YouTube has like the what you need to know about this season. Is there like a 5-minute YouTube video like what you need to know about the college basketball 2022 season?
Are you saying we need to create a 5-minute YouTube video on what you need to know for the college basketball season, even though we have nothing about it?
I'm saying I need to watch that video. I could not create that. I need to watch that video because I haven't even really followed it that much at all. All I know is that the home team in the Big Ten normally wins, and Purdue's really good, and IU's going to tank and miss the tournament. That's all I know.
Hey, you could be our Big Ten expert. Sounds like you know a decent amount about the Big Ten, but that's the one
All I know.
conference we all pretty much know.
Well, Diz covered. It looks like we have tomorrow off, boys.
What? Wait, what? Say that again?
I said you covered all of college basketball right there. It looks like we can take tomorrow off.
But-
Also, Pat,
Go ahead.
it's milk because winners drink milk, and that's what we're going to give out tonight.
Bingo. What a ringing endorsement. Big fan. He went and got the beverage, tied in the beverage to the episode. I mean, we're rolling on all cylinders here, boys.
Is it milk? Is he drinking milk right now?
He is drinking milk.
Fuck yeah. I'm one of the few milk stands left alive. My roommates give me shit for drinking milk every time I do, so I'm glad you're drinking milk. Also, sidebar, I had an appointment today at a dairy farm. This place in the middle of nowhere had 6,500 cows. They're
Dear
milking
God.
these cows. They're milking these cows 3 times a day, sending off 12 tankers, 12 semi-tankers every day, and they do manure. They turn manure into fertilizer. So this place is making fat stacks. So anyone who says milk is dying is wrong. I saw it today for myself, and they're probably going to buy from me, which is a huge win in my professional career. So shout out to milk. This might be a milk podcast going forward. We need to reach out to
The
like
got
Deep
milk
Foods.
people.
Yeah, well, that's a fraudulent. That was a scam. I don't want to get into that.
Oh, it was?
But
Okay.
but if we get into like Prairie Farms or like Oberweis, Pat, work on getting an Oberweis sponsorship. We're big dairy people.
And you're saying that the farms are ready for the workday now.
The farm that I'm setting up tomorrow, yes, they are ready for the workday.
Perfect.
Which that just gave away my company. Shit. I was really hoping to stay anonymous on this podcast.
That is not the first time on this podcast we have used that slogan.
Hopefully no one. I don't think any of my coworkers listen to this.
Well, they also don't know your name.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
true. I do. Yeah, true.
So, anyways,
yeah. Shout out to dairy. Shout out milk. Shout out milk.
moving on. So we're going to start in the NBA, but boys, I'm going to be honest, we have a very small NBA slate tonight. Last NBA slate before the All-Star break. I know at least one of these games is like a makeup game from earlier on in the season. I don't know if it's because of COVID or whatever, but we will run through these quickly. So the first game we have Heat at Hornets. The Heat are 4.5-point favorites. The over/under is 226.5. There's Jake for his daily appearance on the podcast. Thank you, Jake. But the Hornets are 15-12 ATS at home. The Heat are 19-13 ATS away. Heat 4-2 ATS their last 6. Hornets 1-5-1 ATS their last 7. Hayward, Martin, and McDaniels is out for the Hornets. Dedmon and Harrell are out for the Heat. Jimmy Butler is now probable for tonight, so I think he is going to play. Tyler, what do you think about this one?
I was kind of on the fence with Butler being questionable. You say it's probable.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably leaning Hornet. Or sorry, I misspoke. Heat on that one then.
I was like, what? What are we talking about?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to lean Hornets because the Heat's best player is playing. That'd be silly.
That would be silly. Dizz, any thoughts on this one?
The spread, I didn't hear it when you said the spread. What's the line?
4.5 for the Heat.
Yeah, that's not too big of a line. I would lean Heat as well.
All right, good deal. Moving on, the Wizards at the Nets. Nets 4-point favorites, over under 218.5. The Nets own all the major offensive categories, but the Nets are a shocking 6-20-1 ATS at home. Wizards 8-18-1 ATS away, so not much better. But the Wizards 3-16-1 ATS their last 20. Nets 3-1-1 ATS their last 5. Porzingis is out for Washington. And then Hachimura is questionable. Gafford has been cleared to play, so he is playing tonight. The Nets obviously are without Durant, Harris, Irving, and Simmons. This one was tough for me. I was leaning Nets just because they've looked better of late. I mean, the Wizards haven't covered a game in like God knows how long. And now that the Nets are playing with Drummond and Curry, they look at least serviceable. They look like they can put up a fight and win. I know last night they were down big and ended up coming back and beating the Knicks. But what are your thoughts on this game, boys, for tonight?
Tyler, you go first because I know nothing about either of these teams, especially if the Nets don't have Durant, Simmons, or Kyrie.
Yeah.
I'm
Also,
looking at it.
the Wizards lost to the Pacers last night, so just throwing that out
Yeah.
there.
These are two not great teams right now with who the Nets are missing. Looking at it, before I knew Durant, Harris, Irving, and Simmons were out, I was thinking this looked like a game we might look at the over for. I know Dizz is about that life, but because I was actually looking at the stats between the two teams, their average points, it's only a plus 0.7 on the over under spread of what they average. But with those guys missing, I'm not sure about that anymore. So this one's fully up to you, Pat. I'm no help on this one.
Yeah, this one was tough, but the thing I keep going back to is the fact that the Wizards are 3-16-1 in their last 20, whereas the Nets have actually covered in like 2 or 3 straight. So
are the Wizards the worst team in the East?
It started off strong, I believe.
They did, but like we said, they're 3-16-1 ATS their last 20, and they've been underdogs in all those games. So they've lost, and they've lost bad. The thing about the Wizards too is they went and they traded Dinwiddie, which Dinwiddie was playing, for Porzingis, and Porzingis hasn't played since he's been on the Wizards. So the past like week or so, they basically traded away a starter for someone that hasn't been playing. So that's somewhat of a factor. But even before that point, they were still kind of trending in the wrong direction. The Wizards are definitely a bottom 3 team in the East, I would think.
Ride the Nets.
All right, moving on. Mavericks at Pelicans. Mavericks 3-point favorites, over under 215.5. Pelicans 15-13-1 ATS at home. Mavericks 15-12 ATS away. Mavericks 5-1 ATS their last 6. Pelicans 6-3 ATS their last 9. Hardaway is still out for the Mavericks. Tyler, what are you thinking about this one?
We've been fading the Pelicans with some decent success lately, haven't we?
Yeah, I don't know if it was the last game or the last 2 games that McCollum kind of started showing up and showing out, and they've actually been covering. But the way the Mavericks have been playing of late, I mean, has been really, really good. Even since trading away Porzingis.
Well, I mean, he's been hurt anyways, so.
Right. And I think Dinwiddie's been coming off the bench and playing for him, I think.
I mean, I'm with you on Mavericks if that's what you're thinking on this one.
That was what I was thinking. Dizz, any thoughts from you, or are you just rolling with the boys?
I'll roll with the boys on this one.
All right, good deal. This next one, and probably arguably the best game of the night, the 76ers at the Bucks. Bucks 6.5-point favorites, over under 223.5. Bucks 11-19 ATS at home. 76ers 17-11 ATS away. 76ers 2-5 ATS their last 7. Bucks 2-3 ATS their last 5. Harden is obviously out for the 76ers. Grayson Allen is out for the Bucks. This one I kind of struggled a bit with. So Tyler, I'm curious to think or hear what you have to say about this one.
I mean, I'm definitely thinking Bucks on this one. No Harden, like.
What's the point total?
223.5.
Hammer the over, baby. When in doubt, take the points.
The two teams' averages combined is 220.3 points, I believe. So the over is actually 3.2 points over their combined averages.
And I'm worried too, not so much for the 76ers standpoint, but with Grayson Allen being out for the Bucks. I mean, he's a starter. He's a 3-point shooter. He can put up, points fast. Without him in there, I don't know that they are as focused on shooting from 3. I don't know. I was leaning Bucks in this. I mean, I'd like to fade both of these teams because the better the teams are record-wise, a lot of times the spreads are ridiculously in their favor. One of the things I was actually looking at, and I want to see if I can find it because I could not find it earlier, but I feel like if the Bucks are going to win, they're going to score more than 125 points. If you look at their last stretch of a few games, the games when they scored 125 or more, they won, and then the games they didn't, they lost. So I'm trying to find a home team total, and maybe here we go, home team total points 114.5. So what if we do like an over 114.5 for the Bucks, and then a Bucks money line bet, kind of little parlay action.
Could I push you one further? I know Diz is gonna like this. If you think the Bucks are gonna score 125, don't you think the actual game will go over as well?
Also
Could
fair.
throw that in there for a little added value if that's your line of thinking.
A little three-legger. Okay. All right, I can dig it. So that if you put those,
can bump that value up.
If you put those three together, so we have Bucks money line, Bucks team total over 114.5, and the over of 223. That's plus 157 value. I am a big fan of that, and we are throwing that in the Hail Mary parlay of the day, and also one of my dumbest dummy bets.
Ooh,
we're going for the trifecta here, boys.
Going big.
Good. I like that. We all had a part of that that little parlay there. Good deal. All right. And then the final game tonight, we have the Rockets at the Clippers. The Clippers 10.5 point favorites, over under 228.5. Clippers 13-17 ATS at home. The Rockets 15-15-1 ATS away. Rockets 1-5 ATS their last 6. Let me get to the next page. This is ridiculous. And then Clippers 3-2 ATS their last 5. Norman Powell is out for the Clippers, obviously, along with Kawhi and Paul George. And then, so Christian Wood is now officially playing tonight. Porter is still, actually, Porter might be doubtful, I think it was. But Eric Gordon was ruled out, which was a surprise. So, Tyler, I think you had a thought or possibly a play on the total here from earlier?
From what I was seeing, stats coming from ESPN, the Rockets average 108.4 points per game. Clips average 106.3 per game. That's 214.7, and I believe you said the line was 228.5. That's a difference of 13.8 points.
And with Eric Gordon being out,
Yeah,
and possibly Kevin Porter, I mean that's just less scoring. Eric Gordon doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
We know that. Eric Gordon's a shooter. So yeah, I'm good with the under in this one. Diz, I know you don't usually take unders, but how are you feeling about that one?
I mean, your logic's there. I'm not gonna bash it because it makes sense. I'm just not gonna take it respectfully, of course.
Respectfully.
But I'll support you guys doing it.
Hilarious.
I just like to look for like variances like that, and the rest of the games are plus 3.7, plus 0.7, plus 3.1, plus 3.2, and then this one's plus 13.8. Like, it just kind of seemed like the line was off. Maybe they know something I don't, but.
And I mean, Patty, you're crafting your Hail Mary parlay, correct?
That is correct.
So I mean, it's not a majority of your bets are unders. You're still rooting on fun things to happen. If only like one or two are unders, I'll let that slide.
I mean, we took overs already too.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, perfect. And now that we're done with the NBA, we are going into the NHL in a little game called Can Pat Announce the Starting Goalkeepers for either of these teams?
Oh, shit.
Let's go.
It's always a roller coaster ride. I know Diz constantly likes to make fun of me for it, but he also says, fake it till you make it. So I apologize ahead of time if I butcher any of these goaltenders' names.
Yo, before you start this, did you see the Florida Panthers versus the Carolina Hurricanes game last night at all, Pat?
I didn't see any of it, but I saw some highlights from it, and, I mean, unbelievable victory for the Panthers.
See the skater that saved that puck late in the third?
Yes, I didn't know when that occurred, but that is insane. That's like some NHL level, like NHL video game level, like BS.
I believe it was 2-2 in the third. he saves that, and then the Panthers won it in overtime. So I was not watching, but I saw the highlights in the morning. I was juiced up.
It was insane. I mean, it was all over social media, but it was insane. So
Go Panthers, baby! We're back. I don't know what the hell happened for 2 weeks.
there was literally
back.
a 2-week hiatus. I looked at their schedule. They had a game scheduled February 1st, and they had a game scheduled yesterday, which was February 16th. Like, that was it.
Hey, we'll take a 2-week break. Boys are fresh. We're hitting the ice with fresh legs. Feeling good.
And you guys won on the road, which had been historically or typically this season your downfall. And they beat a very good Carolina Hurricanes team in Carolina. So the Panthers, I mean, you may look to take a flyer on them to win the Stanley Cup. I mean, I know I already did, but I think they're at like plus 800 the last I checked.
Nah, because they're going to have to play the Hurricanes or the Lightning in the first round again.
Well, I don't think the Lightning are as good this year as they were last year. Vasilevsky,
They'll be good in the playoffs. They do it every year.
I don't know, but
they've crafted getting hot at the right time.
Well, yeah, fair. But let's get into the slate. We have quite the slate. We have more stuff to talk about with the NHL, so let's get this rolling. First game tonight: Blues at Canadiens. The Blues are minus 330 on the money line, over under 6.5. I will say that the line has come down for that. So the Blues are only minus 280 on the money line now. But Husso is in net for the Blues. He has a 93.9% save percentage, pretty good. Montembeault is in net for the Canadiens, 89.4 save percentage. The Blues own all offensive categories. The Canadiens 5-17-1 at home, 8-15 ATS at home, so that's plus 1.5 for most of those games. Blues 10-8-3 away, 11-10 ATS away. Blues 9-4 straight up their last 13. Canadiens a whopping 0-10 in their last 10. I am leaning the Blues at minus 1.5 here at minus 115. Do you boys have any thoughts or discrepancies or anything like that?
Are you taking minus 115 because the value is so bad to take a money line outright?
Yes, that is definitely part of it. But also, this is one of the rare ones where I looked at the ATS as well. And even with the ATS, which in hockey you get some weird ATS because a lot of these games are decided by one goal. But even looking at the minus 1.5 versus the plus 1.5, the Blues still have an advantage against the Canadiens. So value's definitely a play. But I do think that the Canadiens are the worst team in hockey.
There we go. Empty netter or two at the end. Yeah. Perfect. I'll ride with that.
Tyler's in. Tyler's not a real hockey guy.
all I'm looking is Canadiens 0-10 against the spread last 10 games, and I don't know much about hockey, but that makes me say fade the Canadiens at all costs. So,
all right, perfect. Moving on. Red Wings at the Rangers. The Rangers are minus 205 on the money line. Over under is 6. Nedeljkovic is in net for the Red Wings. He has a 90.7 save percentage. And then Shesterkin is in net for the Rangers. He has a 93.8% save percentage. The Rangers, again, own all offensive categories. Rangers 16-4-2 at home, 10-12 ATS. Red Wings 7-13-3 away, 8-15 ATS. Red Wings 3-2 their last 5. Rangers 8-3 their last 11. I am leaning the Rangers in regulation. That is the 60-minute line at minus 135 value. Dizz, what say you?
So I think I'm liking the over, but I could see it as a trap because both of these goaltenders are fantastic.
Right.
Rangers put up goals, and I think the Red Wings struggle to score on the road.
Yeah.
So I'm all right with Rangers in regulation, but I'm liking the over 6 as well. I could see a push there, but the Rangers can score. If you remember back, I had a 100 piece on Panthers Rangers over, and that came through for me. So I like taking the over when the Rangers are playing, but I support the Rangers in regulation.
All right, we'll go Rangers in regulation unless Tyler has some groundbreaking insight.
Nothing.
This next one is actually one of my favorite ones of the night. The Senators at the Sabres. Sabres minus 118 on the money line. Over under is 6. Gustavsson I don't know even is in net for the Senators. 89.2% save percentage. Anderson is in net for the Sabres. Much easier to say. 91.6% save percentage. The Sabres surprisingly own all offensive categories. Sabres 8-12-4 at home. Senators 8-11-3 away. Sabres 6-13 their last 19. Senators 2-3 their last 5. And I think in this one I like the Sabres just because of the home ice and the better goaltending. The Sabres are actually surprisingly have been playing well at home. They don't really play well anywhere, but if you can't bet the Sabres on the road, but at home, even at like this good of value against a bad Senators team, I'm leaning Sabres, Diz. I don't know if Diz hit a dead spot or if he just has nothing to add.
Yeah, support that. I don't really know how to feel about this, and I'm hitting the dead spot, so full send from me.
Okay,
Dead
there we
spot. I support it.
go. Okay. This next one, Penguins at Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs are minus 154 on the money line. The over-under is at a whopping 6.5. Jari is in net for the Penguins, 92.5% save percentage. Campbell in net for the Leafs, 92.1 save percentage. Both very good goalies. Leafs 17-4-1 at home. Penguins 17-5-3 away from home. Penguins 4-1 their last 5. Leafs 7-2 last 9. I mean, both these teams are fantastic. They're pretty much in a deadlock in my eyes up to this point. So where do we go, Tyler, if we don't like a side in the game?
I don't know. Where do we go, Pat?
We go to the total. We go to the over-under. The total has gone over for the Penguins in 4 of their last 6. The total has gone over for the Leafs in 7 of their last 8. The 6.5 is not going to scare me away from taking the over here. I am taking 6.5 and hope for a good game with pucks on net.
I'm
Love
with
it. I'll never turn down an over.
The next game, Capitals at Flyers. Capitals minus 194 on the money line. Over-under is at 6. Samsonov is in net for the Capitals, 90.6 save percentage. Jones is in net for the Flyers, 90.1 save percentage. Capitals own all major offensive categories. Flyers 8-11-4 at home. Capitals 15-5-4 away from home. Capitals 2-3 their last 5. Flyers a whopping 2-16 their last 18. I am leaning the Capitals in regulation here at the minus 120 value.
Almost seems too good to be true.
I know, right? I think part of
what's the difference between money line and regulation?
Money line means they win no matter what. In regulation means they have to win.
I mean value.
Money line is minus 194. Winning in regulation is minus 120.
That's a good value jump, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people sleep on the winning in regulation in hockey. I think it's one of the most underutilized bets in the whole game.
Good value, Chase.
Bruins at Islanders. The Islanders minus 110 on the money line. Over under is 5.5. Ullmark is in net for the Bruins, 90.9 save percentage. Sorokin is in net for the Islanders, 91.9% save percentage. The Bruins own all major offensive categories. Islanders 9-10-3 at home. Bruins 12-6-3 away. Bruins 3-6 their last 9. Islanders 1-4 last 5. I can't believe we are getting the Bruins at basically even money on the money line. I think we have to hammer the Bruins here.
Yeah, I agree. You nailed it. Spot on. I got nothing else to add.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not adding a lot, but you're kind of saying everything that needs to be said. So it's a testament to you.
Well, that's what I tried to do. And with hockey, it's a lot different than the NBA. There's a lot less to discuss. There's a lot less variables. It's pretty much just the numbers that you're purely looking at. It was always the same thing in the MLB too, right, Diz? When we would go through the MLB, I would lay out the pitcher stats, the hitting stats, this, that, or the other. It's great information. You can make your own decision based off of that, but it's hard to really like argue or rebuttal against it.
Yeah, I feel that.
So Moving on, we have the Seattle Kraken at the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets minus 182 on the money line. The over-under is at 6. Grubauer is in net for the Kraken with an 88.5 save percentage. Comrie is in net for the Jets, a 92 save percentage. Jets own all offensive categories. Jets 12-9-1 at home. Kraken 7-13-2 away. Kraken 6-14 in the last 20. Jets 4-9 the last 13. I'm leaning Jets in regulation at minus 110.
Yeah, it's good value. If we're riding regulations, we gotta hope the favorites can do it in 60 tonight.
I was gonna say if we have a lot of overtimes tonight, we might be down bad. But that's a risk we're willing to take.
It's worth the value chase, I'd say.
And I definitely prefer the in regulation as opposed to like a minus 1.5. And
I would agree with that as well.
I know a lot of people say that doesn't really matter. There's not that big of a difference, especially with the empty net. But from experience, I think in regulation is hands above the minus 1.5.
Well, the thing about the 1.5 is if it doesn't get done in regulation, they're not going to win by 1.5. So it's almost like a contradiction, anyways. Like just take them in regulation.
Yeah.
I'd just like to add, I did not know there was an NHL team named the Jets.
The Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, they're from Canada.
Didn't know that.
There
Learn
you go.
something new every day.
Perfect.
Good reason to listen to the pod.
The logo's dope. Tyler, check it out. Their logo's dope. I used to play with them on NHL when I was growing up.
The Winnipeg Jets. All right, moving on. We have the Blue Jackets at the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks are minus 152 on the money line. The over-under is 6. Merzlikins is in net for the Blue Jackets, 90.4 save percentage. Soderblom is in net for the Blackhawks. He has an 88.1% save percentage. Blackhawks 8-11-3 at home. Blue Jackets 11-13 away. Blue Jackets 5-2 their last 7. Blackhawks 3-8 their last 11. I'm leaning Blue Jackets here, Dizz, and I can't believe we are getting them at plus money.
Isn't it because you might? Maybe I just missed it in your stats, but aren't the Blackhawks an entirely different team in the United Center?
They are, but they're still only 8-11-3 on the season at home, and the Blue Jackets are 11-13 away from home. So the Blue Jackets are the better team away from home than the Blackhawks are at home. And then throw in the fact that the Blue Jackets are 5-2 their last 7 compared to 3-8 their last 11. And I'm getting the Blue Jackets, who have the better goalie in this situation, at plus money.
Any chance? Is it plus 1.5? I'd feel a little more at ease at plus 1.5.
Let me see what that value is. I'm worried that value is going to be horrific.
Probably will be. But
yeah,
road money line scares me. I like the balls, but for one of the last legs in the Hail Mary parlay, it sketches me out a little bit. I would hate for it to come down to this.
So the Blue Jackets at plus 1.5 is minus 220.
What about Blue Jackets in regulation? Because like we said,
well, that'll be even worse odds than them on the money line.
True. All right.
If you want to go, so if you want to go Blackhawks, we can go Blackhawks, or I say we just stay away from this game.
I didn't know staying away was an option in the Hail Mary parlay.
Well, to be honest, we already have like 7 legs without counting what we have in the NHL. So if you wanted to stay away from this game, that is fine.
It's got to add an insane amount of value to the parlay, though, as the 8th leg being an underdog.
It would. It certainly would. Do you trust my research and my numbers enough to take a risk here?
Take a risk.
All right. Take a chance on me.
Hell yeah. Patty sings ABBA. That's the name of the pod.
That'll bring in so many new listeners and people.
Patty sings ABBA, and we love milk.
Milk is for winners.
Milk is for winners. Well, that's I lose a lot on this podcast. So
thank you, Jake, for saying that. I appreciate that. I've been a terrible job of reading the chat while we've been going over this, but I appreciate the love from our boy Jake, who made a brief but stellar appearance on the pod today.
I mean, if Jake would like to come in and give some picks when we're done, I think we'd all like that.
All right, moving on. Ducks at the Oilers. Oilers minus 235 on the money line. The over-under is 6.5. Stolars is in net for the Ducks with a 91.9 save percentage. Smith is in net for the Oilers with a 90.4 save percentage. Oilers 13-10 at home. Ducks 10-10-5 away. Ducks 6-13 in their last 19. Oilers 8-3 their last 11. I lean the Oilers here, but I'll tell you what, Diz, I don't like the value. So I'm leaning towards staying away from this because I could definitely see a world where the Ducks win.
Quack, quack, quack,
Quack,
quack,
quack,
quack,
quack,
quack, quack.
quack.
I'd stay away. I like the Ducks.
Okay, perfect. We'll stay away from that one then.
Ducks
Hey,
fly
what's Ducks
together.
money line though? If I was to add that to my dumbest dummy, what's Ducks money line?
Plus 188.
Fucking cash that shit for me. That's a little foreshadowing for the dumbest dummy.
Love it. Love it. The final game on the ice, the Canucks at the Sharks. Canucks minus 125 on the money line. Over-under is 5.5. Our boy Demko is in net for the Canucks. Reamer is in net for Demko has a 92.1 save percentage. I know we were just talking about him, but we got to give him his due. We can't just skip over his save percentage. Reamer is in net for the Sharks with a 91.6 save percentage. Sharks 10-10-2 at home. Canucks 12-12-3 away. Canucks 3-2 their last 5. Sharks 1-6 last 7. I leaned Canucks because they have the better goalie and a hotter current streak. Diz, I know you were big on the Sharks on Monday's episode, and that came back to bite us in the ass. But any rebuttal or thought from you here?
Well, my first thought was the Sharks goalie's name is Reamer, and I was going to say, Reamer, I just met her. It's been a couple months since I got to throw one of those jokes on here. I love the Sharks as home dogs again. I know we lost it on Monday, but I've always been a fan of home dogs, especially in the NHL. And the Sharks are a competent team. They're not dog shit, right? Am I wrong there?
I mean, they're decent. Like I said, they're 10-10-2 at home. They're about a 500 team. So if you want to go Sharks, Diz, we will go Sharks.
Sharks money line.
Okay, there you go.
Home dogs.
Shots.
Shout out the pod there. All right, so we went Blues minus 1.5. We went Rangers and Reg. I'm putting this in for my for my Hail Mary parlay of the day real quick. Oh yeah, this is going to be some good value, boys. This is going to be some good value.
Got the juice.
Oh yeah, plenty of juice.
Does it have the milk though?
Ooh. We decided to go with the Blue Jackets, right? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And then we want the Sharks at home. All right, boys, we might as well just go ahead and go for it right now. Hail Mary parlay of the day that we just constructed. Do we have any guesses on the value of this bad boy? It turned out to be 16 legs, but that's with three of them being in that Bucks game with a plus 157 value on that little same gamer.
That's like 2 spiders worth of legs.
$1 to win 2,400.
Tyler?
I want to just go up and say $1 to win 3,000.
It is $1 to win $10,046.34, boys. We are cooking with fire.
Pat, we're raging. If that hits, baby, we're raging. No work tomorrow.
AOs all around.
That's right, baby. That's right.
I have to work tomorrow, though.
Doesn't matter.
Not if Patty hits this, you don't.
Oh gosh, that's great. All right, boys, let's get into our dumbest dummy bets of the night. Well, first, let's review our dumbest dummy. Your boy went 0-3 again on Monday. I am absolutely just horrific right now in the dumbest dummy competition. Diz, how did you do on Monday?
I went 2-2. I took over 6 in every single matchup. Just a simple, honestly lazy betting. First day of betting after the football season, so I just took 4 overs. 2 of them hit, 2 of them didn't. They're at minus value, but hey, as long as I don't gotta outrun the bear. I just gotta outrun Patty Parlay. So I'm winning big
For now, you're winning big for now.
for now. Until one of these teams wins by 40 points, then I'm host.
That's right, baby. That is right. Let's see here. So I have my dumbest dummy picks for tonight. Diz. My first one is obviously that little same gamer, the over 114.5 for the Bucks team total, over 223 in the total for the game, and the Bucks money line. And then I have 4 teams to win tonight by 31 plus points. I have the Heat to win by 31 plus versus the Hornets at plus 4,300. I have the Mavericks to win by 31 plus versus the Pelicans at plus 5,000. I have the Bucks to win by 31 plus versus the 76ers at plus 3,200. And then finally the Clippers to win by 31 plus versus the Rockets at plus 1,100. All right, Diz, what do you got for us?
All right, so coming into this podcast, I only had one dumbest dummy bet, and it was my Dizz's Degenerate pick of the night. But I now have 2, and I'm loving the Ducks money line on the road. We talked about it, crafting the Hail Mary parlay of the day. I might watch Mighty Ducks tonight because my girlfriend has never seen the movie. We were actually talking about this earlier in the week. So I'm hoping Emilio Estevez as Gordon Bombay is gonna craft a win for the Anaheim Ducks tonight. So that's my first one. I believe you said it was plus. Was it like
180?
Was it plus 220? Oh, plus 180. Okay, we'll ride that. And then my Diz's Degenerate pick of the night. It's not super degenerate. It's just I know nothing about the teams that are playing. I'm just sticking to my roots. I have a college basketball money line parlay, or sorry, not money line. Iowa -5 against Michigan. I love home teams in the Big Ten, so Iowa's got to cover by 5. And then UNC Wilmington over Towson. Pat, why am I taking UNC Wilmington over Towson money line?
Home dog?
Home dogs. So those 2 win. I'm at plus 339 value. So those are my 2. Kind of some juicy value. I don't know what I'm doing anymore now that football's over, but hopefully we can get lucky.
Well, and hopefully this will get you on a path of getting to figure out the college basketball scene and everything because, boy, we have one night to get it figured out because tomorrow we are hitting the college basketball game hard.
Hard, baby.
Hard. All right, boys. Group best bets time. We went 2-1 on Monday. So as a group, we are only down 0.68 units. What strikes the old fancy here tonight, boys?
What do you think about that over in the Rangers Red Wings game?
Okay, I can dig it.
Good tendies, but I'm feeling a push. Feeling a push is realistic since it's at 6. But, you know. What was our bet Rangers in regulation?
Yes.
So maybe if it goes into overtime, we lose the Hail Mary parlay, but we'll probably hit the over. So maybe it's a little emotional hedge. Or not an emotional hedge. I don't care about either of these teams. But just a hedge on your Hail Mary.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right, cool.
Tyler, anything like in the NBA or anything catch your fancy tonight?
No, I was looking at the men's basketball, like top 25 and Big Ten, but I mean, they're all huge lines. Tough, Murray State against Austin P. Arizona against Oregon State, Houston, UFC, UCLA, Washington State, and USC, Washington. And I think all of those are home for the favorites. So
Gotcha.
I'm not seeing much there. And then Big Ten has 2 games tonight. One's already done.
Oh, what game played?
Minnesota and Penn State played at 4.
Weird.
Penn State beat the brakes off of Minnesota. So that just leaves Iowa versus Michigan, and I believe that's at Iowa.
Yep.
So I wouldn't touch that one either because Iowa's 5-point favorites. So no real value there.
Whoa.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, I was in my dumbest dummy. Iowa -5 is part of my parlay. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, part of a parlay that's good. I'm saying as a single bet, like.
Yeah, that's true. I'm all right keeping it out of best bets because if my dumbest dummies don't hit, then we don't hit. So I'm kosher with that. I was just saying I like Iowa -5, but I'm cool.
No,
with
I
it not
think
being
I
best
was.
bets.
I think I was gonna win. I was just looking for something with a little more juice.
I feel that.
Jake says there's some nice player performance double options for the NBA slate tonight. I hope he's
Ooh.
watching and listening and can maybe give us some in the chat here, his favorite ones, because I am curious. I haven't had a chance to dig into the player props for tonight just yet.
Jake, come on into the studio.
the studio.
Yeah, come on into the studio. Get in here.
But for group best bets, let's go over Penguins and Leafs. So that's another over that I like tonight in the NHL. And then to keep the theme of the going for the totals tonight, we'll go with the under in that Clippers-Rockets game. So we have over for the Rangers-Red Wings, over for the Penguins and Leafs, and then finally under for the Clippers and the Rockets. Let's see. Over. NBA. Under. Here we go. All right, boys. Jake said he's not wearing hockey pants. So he said give him a second.
All right. I mean, it happens.
Do you have any conspiracy theories for us while we wait for our boy Jake?
No, I'm intrigued about Dizz's got milk thing.
What?
Here you go.
All right. Introducing for the first time ever on the Sports Betting by Dummies podcast, we have our boy, Jake. Jake, welcome into the pod.
Long-time listener, first-time caller, Pat. Good to-
Love it.
I got 2 things for you tonight. So I've been kind of experimenting with some different plays just to kind of keep more strategy towards my bets.
Mm-hmm.
One's a bankroll builder. I'll go through. I look at matchups to make sure it's not going to be a blowout. I mean, you don't want to bet something on the Suns playing against Detroit. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So I go through and the top or like the highest odd or lowest odd player to get 20 plus points in each game, I parlay them all together.
Okay.
So tonight I got Bam Adebayo, been on a tear. Terry Rozier, also been on a tear. Luka 20 plus, Brandon Ingram 20 plus, Embiid and Antetokounmpo both 20 plus. Reggie Jackson, don't like betting on him, but we're gonna roll the dice there. And then Marcus Morris all 20 plus. So that if it wins will be $50 on a $3 bet.
Okay. Solid value.
My PPDs. So Bam Adebayo been on an absolute tear. So they have him 25 plus points in Miami to win. Last time Miami marched up to Charlotte, there was no competition. So that's plus 245. Hopefully he plays the whole game. Hopefully Charlotte steps it up. We got Luka Doncic, also been on a tear. He had an off game, but they play the Pelicans. A lot of players that got beef there. Luka, 10 plus assists, Dallas to win. Hopefully that hits. Giannis and Antetokounmpo, double-double, playing against Joel Embiid. Someone's got to step up. And, of course, the former finals MVP. So I got Giannis, Milwaukee to win, and then Marcus Morris, 20-plus points. Clippers don't have a whole lot of options. I don't like betting for people to hit certain performance against the Rockets, once again. but we're going to chance it. Marcus Morris 20 plus. So $2 payout 106. That's a long shot, but
I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jake. I appreciate your insight and your knowledge. And
Anytime.
also, Tyler's mic is like feels like it's up your nose because we can hear you breathe every time you breathe. So I think it's Tyler's just sensitive mic, but it's hilarious. But I enjoyed it, and you're welcome back anytime.
Hey, heat check off the bench from Jake. Heat check off the bench.
Go on.
Buckets.
Or you were just saying that was a heat check from him. You're not.
Oh yeah, it was a great job.
Oh,
Heat
okay.
check off the bench from Jake.
Yes.
I was about to say, he checked me all the time, man. I can bet more money. That's the thing.
Awesome. And I hope you're right, but I definitely have Miami to win by 31 plus points as one of my bets tonight. So
you got a good shot. They pretty much own the Charlotte Hornets this year.
So, but maybe Bam can get 25 plus points and they can still win by 31 plus.
He'll get it in the first 2 quarters, and then they'll just bench him, and then still win. Yeah, don't worry.
Good deal.
I'll call Spoelstra.
Oh, okay. Got your inside hookup.
Get him on the line.
Is Tyler done, or is he coming back?
He's giving pretty much the same look he was on the podcast, just on his phone. Back in.
You got it. Close your app.
Okay. Dizz or Jake, anything you boys need to get off your chest before we call it a day?
Hey, can we get a quick shout out to Marsh Supermarkets?
Oh yeah. So
all four of us.
All four of us did work at the Marsh.
Suspiciously, it closed down after we left too. Just saying, impact.
Hey,
or I ran them out of business because I was the only one working there when they shut. Actually, I don't know, Jake. You might have still been. Maybe Tyler was too. I don't know.
Tyler, were you there when Marsh was closing down, or were you? Yeah, he was there.
Okay, so it's Tyler's fault.
It is Tyler's fault. He was actually part of the implosion crew, even though they haven't imploded the building yet. It's just sitting there.
It is just sitting there, and it's funny because that Marsh building that is now vacant. Tyler and I went to that Noble Romans across the street, and we were talking about plans to possibly purchase that Marsh space and turning it into a podcasting studio, but we didn't think we could afford the space, unfortunately.
In the old manager's office. Sorry.
I was gonna say a little big for our budget.
Yeah.
And I still have PTSD from that place, so I'll respectively pass.
Oh, awesome. Well, shout out Marsh Supermarkets. But
experts in fresh.
Oh, he even got the tagline in there. Oh, I wasn't ready for that. But thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. Make sure you check us out on Twitter and Instagram at SportsBetByDumb. Also, make sure you go to the YouTube. You can go in that search bar on the YouTube, search for Sports Betting by Dummies, filter by channel. We should be the first one up there. Look for the black and yellow logo. You cannot miss it. But again, thank you all for listening, and we will see you all tomorrow.